Okay, so this is a regular meeting of the Hollister City Council on November 17th, starting at 5:30. Can we do roll call, please?
Vice Mayor Pache,
Present.
Councilmember Resendez, Councilmember Morales, Councilmember Deanda, here, and Mayor Stevens.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, and we're going to start our agenda off with closed session. So I'm going to have our city attorney read our item on closed session.
The city council will meet in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54957, public employee employment pursuant to Government Code Section 54957 to discuss the city manager.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's go right into closed session. So I think we're just going to stay here. Should we just stay here since there's no one in the chambers? I think we'll just stay in here. Okay, so we're going to go into closed session. Okay. All right. So Vice Mayor Pichet, do you want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Absolutely.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you all. We're waiting patiently to get into the chambers. We just finished our closed session, so I'm going to turn it over to City Attorney if there's anything to report out.
There's nothing to report.
Okay. All right, thank you. So we're going to go right into presentation of certificates for recognition to 3 individuals who have worked tirelessly on helping local veterans. So I'll just mention that on Veterans Day on Tuesday, Vice Mayor Rudy Pache represented us at a veterans breakfast in which 3 individuals were recognized. And I wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity today to recognize those 3 individuals. We have certificates here that we will make sure that they get. So we want to congratulate and thank Anthony Sotelo, Cesar Flores, and Baldo. Let me make sure I get his last name right. Salcido. Want to thank them for all the work and their service to the veteran community, them being veterans themselves. So thank them for their service. And just know that the City Council and the City of Hollister honor you and the work that you're doing with our local veterans. And we will get these certificates to those fine gentlemen as soon as we can. Okay, so thank you for that. We're going to move on to our next item. We are going to go into public input. So this is the time in our agenda that the in-person audience and the Zoom audience can participate or can talk about any item that does not appear on our agenda. Speaker cards are available for those that are in the chambers. And if you're on Zoom, then just raise your hand. If you're on your phone, use the *9 key to raise your hand and you'll be recognized. You have 3 minutes on any item and a maximum of 30 minutes total. So do we have any speaker cards for the public input?
Yes, Mayor, we have a speaker card from Omar Rosa.
Okay, Omar?
Hi. Good evening.
Good
Can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear
Okay.
you.
All right. Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, and city staff. I'm here on behalf of the Hollister Downtown Association to invite you all to this year's Lights On celebration, our largest and most cherished holiday event. The event will take place on November 29th in downtown Hollister. The Lights On celebration has been a downtown tradition now for 35 years and brings thousands of residents and visitors into the heart of Hollister each year. It features our evening holiday parade, live entertainment, downtown tree lighting, local vendors, and activities for families and children of all ages. Our event begins the day before on November 28th when we start our holiday boutique between the hours of 1 and 6 at the Hollister Veterans Memorial Building. Then early morning, November 29th, we have our Decade Tree Project. We receive over 30 trees donated from Burdett's Christmas Tree Farm here in Hollister so that our local nonprofits and business can decorate these trees in front of the Vets building. These trees are then donated to local families in need after our event. November 29th is also Small Business Saturday, so please come out and support our local businesses by stopping by and starting your holiday shopping in downtown Hollister. Our parade begins at 5:30, and this year we'll have 3 announcing stages for the first time. We will feature a Spanish-speaking announcing stage next to 7-Eleven. After the parade, we'll have our tree lighting ceremony presented by the City of Hollister and the Parks and Recreation Department, and we will also begin photos with Santa inside the Vets building. To ensure the safe and successful event, we will work closely with the City of Hollister, including police, fire, and public works on street closures, traffic control, staging areas, and cleanup. Volunteers assist throughout the day, and local partners help keep the event free for the public. The Lights On celebration brings our community together, strengthens our downtown, and reflects the spirit and pride of Hollister. Thank you for your continued partnership and support. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that announcement, Omar. Yeah, we look forward to seeing everybody there. I think the majority of the council, if not all of us, will be participating in that parade. So we will see you guys there. So come out and especially come out on Friday and Saturday and shop for local vendors. That's really fun. There's always some great things. Any other speaker cards?
Yes, we have Speaker Rigo. I believe it says.
Hello, council members and mayor, vice mayor, everybody, lawyers, crowd. I would like to thank you guys for always thinking of the community first, right? And I'm glad to see every single one of our representatives here present. Now, I wanted to invite our representatives and anybody watching at home to our food shares every Monday from 4 p.m. to 5:30 on the corner of 4th and Monterey. We're young community members. We are students, workers, um, parents that work here, that raise their kids here, and we see a need for more community efforts, more community work that feeds directly the people of Hollister. Everybody, I mean, it's for anybody, regardless of no strings attached. Please come. It's Food Not Bombs every Monday from 4 to 5:30. And we are community members stepping up where we sometimes see that there could be room for growth from our local representatives. And I don't think there could be better a better show of community support from our elected representatives than if you guys came out and volunteered, or if you guys came and brought some waters, if you guys came and brought some food, some dry foods. You know, we are welcoming of anybody. We're welcoming of anybody, any faith, any creed, any. This is a science-based, evidence-based approach to handling the issues, most dear to Hollisterinos, like food insecurity, like the migrant crisis. There's a lot of homeless migrants that work our fields. That's kind of embarrassing, no? It's kind of embarrassing there's no soup kitchen to feed hot meals. And we love the work that the food pantry does, but that is only a Band-Aid solution. Maybe there could be some way that you guys can, support groups like ours, or maybe support groups that would do feeding directly to the members of Hollister. It's kind of a shame that they have to go so far. These people walk in the rain to go get food. It's called the bread line. We have bread lines in Hollister because we can't meet the demand, because milk is 7.30, 7.40, 7.50. Like, that's crazy. Milk, eggs, everything is so expensive. And it would be awesome if we can have our representatives, if you guys could come bring some supplies, some tarps. And all of this work is legal thanks to a new California law passed called SB 634. And I would love all of you to look it up.
Thank you,
Thank you, guys.
Rigo. Appreciate it. Thank you. Other comments, other speaker cards?
Those are all the speakers we have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to go into the consent agenda. So any brief questions or comments on any items on the consent agenda? I believe you said you had a quick question, Vice Mayor, on one of them.
Yes, on 8.3 and 8.4.
Is it a quick question or do you need to pull the item?
I just want to make sure that I'm on the right track with just the rent and the lease agreement. So
Okay,
yeah, I'd
so-
like to pull it for just a moment,
Okay.
please.
Do you want to pull both items or you just want to pull one item?
Both of them.
Okay.
They're basically the same thing, similar.
Okay. Okay, and then any other items? Councilmember Resendez?
8.5, Mayor Stevens.
This one's on, okay, 8.5. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to pull those items. Okay, any other items that we want to pull? Okay. Okay, we're just going to pull those. We will put those aside, but other than those 8.3. Does anybody have a motion or any other brief questions?
No, motion to approve the remaining items on the consent calendar.
Okay, and can I get a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay. Okay, let's then go back to the pulled items. Let's go to 8.3.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Would you like a report or just ask your questions?
Just if you have a short report, that'd be great.
Sure. 8.3 is our item where Whisk, who's an eVTOL manufacturing company, they are located at the airport and their presence is evolving here. And as part of their evolving presence, they would like to do testing of a vertiport, which is, again, it's a structure that is going to be deployable. It's temporary in nature. And they're basically using an airport use agreement for such agreement to use that part of the airport for that purpose, because it's temporary in nature. If it was a permanent structure, it would actually have to be a public use vertiport. And we're not at the place yet where we've done the high level airport planning. This may be the long-term place where we put a permanent vertiport on the airport to kind of support the west side in the future. So with that, you have the airport use agreement, which draws out their use. So they will be putting some temporary surface so they can tow their Gen 6 aircraft over to the vertiport. Then it goes on there and then it will take off and do different landings. Up until the Gen 6 is ready for those operations, they will use their Bell 206 helicopter to fly in approaches and departures.
Okay, thank you for that. Hey, I just want to make sure that, well, first of all, I'm really excited at, what's going on at the airport. Vertical takeoff and landing, eVTOLs it's really exciting, right? It's kind of taking a look into the future. And I just want to make sure that I'm on the right track when it comes to the numbers and the lease agreements, because they're pretty important part of, the revenue stream at the airport. So it looks like to me that we have 7,500 for the 2016 lease agreement, something like that, and that was in 8.3. And then
That's the airport use agreement. So the airport use agreement is $2,300 a month.
okay, so for the FATO deployable landing pad.
Yes.
Okay, so in 8.3, I read they were paying 7,500 a month for their 2016 agreement.
That's the ground lease.
Okay.
So we'll move to that. We'll answer that question as we get to that one. Let's stick with the FATO, the vertiport.
Okay.
So your question there is the airport use agreement calls for $2,300 a month, and Whisk gets to use this full-time 7 days a week. So basically it's equivalent to a ground lease.
Okay, thanks for that.
Okay, so before you move on, we need a motion on this item before we move on to the next items, if there aren't any other questions.
Mayor Stevens,
Mhm.
first off, thank you and welcome to City of Hollister. And I move to approve.
I second.
Okay, all those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? No? Okay, so now let's go on to 8.4. Wait, let me check with our city attorney. Do I need to do a public comment on each one of these since we pulled them?
Yes.
I'll apologize. Oh, okay, so do we have to retract the motion?
so
And open it
actually,
up.
we actually, you can take them on all of it is the way we've been doing it. We've taken public comments on all of the consent agenda items at once.
Okay,
However, I don't think we got it for that other
Okay.
one. So I can state for the record that there are no public comments for any of the consent agenda items, including
Okay.
the ones that were pulled.
okay, great. Thanks for that. Okay, so now we'll move on to 8.4. So if you want to give just a quick report on that one too.
Sure. So in 2016, Whisk entered into a ground lease. It's on the west side of the airport. It's about a little over an acre and a half. They built a 14,000 square foot hangar building constructed a parking lot and then ramp to connect up to the taxiway Charlie. So that particular ground is perfect, and we have some available space between their lease line there and the anticipated CAL FIRE new air attack base. And so referenced in your staff report is the available space that is adjacent to the WISC lease line. And so they would like to enter into a lease. It's approximately 2.8 acres if you look at the surveyed record. And the first and foremost improvement that's been discussed is, again, because of their evolving operations, they are looking to increase the number of employees working at the airport, and so they refer to that original ground lease building of 14,000 square feet as Hangar 1. Hangar 2 is the through the fence property, which we did the access permit for in 2024. So they now have the ability to walk back and forth between those two and tow their aircraft and equipment back and forth. And so as they increase occupancy, particularly at either one of the two hangars, as part of the requirements from the city, they have to increase parking. So the first and foremost thing will be probably a minimum of a 25,000 square foot additional parking area. With that, and when we presented to the Hollister Airport Advisory Commission, we also said that we would address a shortcoming in the original approval of the 2016 lease, which is that it allowed for cars to come up and where the ingress egress is into their parking lot, it takes them past 2 to 3 T hangars, which happens to be occupied by a flight school instructor. And so she, her aircraft are out there quite often. It's very busy. And so cars and aircraft crossing each other on a thin kind of aircraft movement area is not what we would want. So as part of the presentation to the commission, it was that this would be an opportunity to address that shortcoming and correct that with a new ingress egress with the design of the new parking lot. That being said, so you have two components of the lease, and this is probably where it maybe gets a little confusing. Because we're amending the original ground lease and not entering into a new lease, you have the component of the rent that is for the 2016. It's been getting CPI adjustments and it's been moving forward. It continues to get that same treatment as we go along. The new additional area is called out as the 2025 additional ground lease area. That has the same rate that they would have paid basically the ground lease rate, which is 23 cents a square foot for the improved areas and 5 cents. So once the improvement like the parking area is completed, that square footage will be added to an exhibit A-1. We'll know the square footage for that, and then we will increase the rate from 5 cents, which is just the open space rate, to the improved rate. So, and then as they bring other improvements online, as they figure out how they want to utilize the property, it has the potential to move from the 5 cents per square foot open rate to the 23 cents per square foot open rate. And I believe what it says here is that, so the 2016 component, they pay about $7,500 per month currently, which generates about $90,000 annually. And the additional ground lease area at 5 cents a square foot for the 2.8 acres, that will be about $6,000 per month, which would be $72,000 on an annual basis. And then again, it states in the lease there that the rate will change as improvements are constructed and added to the exhibit A-1.
Okay, thank you for that. You just answered my question.
Very good.
Appreciate it.
Okay, any other questions?
I'll move to adopt Mayor Stevens.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Okay,
And just
Thank
a quick
you.
mention, we do have WISC folks here. They came just in case there were questions. So
Okay,
thank
great.
you.
Thanks. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Okay, let's move on to the next pulled item. That's 8.5. Is that right? Okay, resolution of intention and introduction of an ordinance to approve the contract amendment with the Board of Administration of the California Public Employees Retirement System. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I guess if you could just clarify and what the amendment was, like in layman's terms.
Okay. What's before us today, just to give you a little background, in 2013, California CalPERS, as you just fully explained who they were by name, Mayor, they changed some of the and made less beneficial going forward from 2013 on to new employees, both in safety, police, fire, and miscellaneous is what they call the rest of us who aren't in police and fire. And what they did was change to a lesser pension benefit. And what your action before tonight is to do is to, number one, introduce the resolution that you intend to comply with the CalPERS rules. And we received a notice actually 2 city managers ago, but it was in his name. We got it, David got it in September, to please work with us to make these changes. They do not affect current employees. The changes have been effectively made from 13 till now as the employees come on. And the second piece to this is to introduce the ordinance, which adopts the contract language also attached in your packets, which spells out exactly the new formulas that are already in place, but that we are amending the contract, which started with CalPERS in 1962. And although the introductions tonight, and normally introductions happen the next council meeting, but CalPERS has a 20-day rule, so it has to come back on December 15, and then 30 days from that day it would be finalized. So I hope that helps. Some of this is already in play. It's just to make the amendment changes to the legal contract, if you will, finalized, and having the City of Hollister's contract with CalPERS up to date.
Okay, any other questions on this item from anyone?
So from what I
Good.
read, basically, we're just acknowledging pepper reform, which was implemented in 2013 and it applies. We're just updating the resolution and the language in terms of the contract. That's what I read.
That's correct. And the language, the contract language literally spells out the new formulas, for
Mhm.
example, on pensions, but that's exactly what we're doing.
Okay. Okay, so can I get a motion on this item?
Move to adopt, Mayor Stevens.
Second, please.
The second.
Who was that? Councilmember Morales. Okay, we're gonna pick you this time. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Okay, good. So let's move on then to our next item. 9.1, resolution approving the joint powers agreement or JPA with California Municipal Finance Authority and approving conduit finance with Prospect Senior Avenue, Prospect via 1, Prospect via 2 apartments, affordable housing project through the CMFA. Can we get a staff report? Thank you.
Good evening, Council and Mayor. Rock Powell, your Assistant City Manager. This is an item that was introduced to the city by the California Municipal Finance Association on behalf of property owners of 3 affordable housing complexes in the city. They are seeking to obtain tax-exempt bond through the California Municipal Finance Association. And in order to do that, it requires a public hearing held by the city and that for the city to participate in a no-cost JPA. This happens in multiple jurisdictions throughout the state, and it's really a formality exercise, which will then enable the property owner to obtain the bond financing or the revenues from the bond financing and enable them to rehabilitate or refurbish and improve the existing housing stock. This is something that happens quite a bit in affordable housing. It helps to maintain it. It also helps to keep it current and energy efficient, et cetera. So tonight, that's the item before you. We do have Jared Suzuki in the audience to answer questions, and I believe Karen Buckland is also available on Zoom to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Go ahead, Councilmember Resendez.
Thank you, Mayor Stevens. Thank you, Assistant City Manager Powell. What I was wondering is, I know we're entering into JPA, and I know that sometimes there's costs associated with that. So I just want to ensure that there's no cost associated to the city of Hollister. We're just doing it for financing purposes. And again, when we're looking at costs, that includes staff time as well. Am I correct in making that assumption?
So to execute this agreement through, the staff time is basically myself and your housing program coordinator. We're doing this on behalf of the property owner so that they can execute this through. We did not charge any time to that property owner or to CMFA. The cost of public noticing is reimbursed to the city or was paid out by CMFA on the behalf. They provided all the language to come forward in the documents. We really, the cost of time here was constructing the staff report.
Okay. And then is there any long-term costs associated with it at any time?
Not to the city,
To
in
the
my
city.
understanding.
Okay.
This is basically for the property owner to receive those revenues, and then they'll have to execute their responsibilities after that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, other questions from anyone else? No? Okay, can we go to public comment on this item? Are there any speaker cards?
Mayor Stevens, just for the record, this is a public hearing.
Oh, so I'm gonna open the public hearing. Sorry about that. And do we have any comments?
We do not have any public.
Okay, so I'm gonna close the public hearing. And then can I move to get a motion from
Move to adopt, Mayor Stevens.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Okay, good. Thank you for that. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move on from that item to our next item, which is committee reports. So any council member, if you have anything to report on any ad hocs or standing committees, let's hear from each one of you. Anybody on this side? Councilmember Resendez, you have something?
Thank you, Mayor Stevens. So today the mayor and myself had 2 ad hoc committees. We met with a recruiting firm to finalize interviews for the next city manager for the city of Hollister. And then we got to meet, so that went well. And then the second thing was we're starting to meet with talking about the biker rally as well. So getting things going with that. So there'll be some upcoming information possibly at the next city council meeting in regards to that. Thank you.
Councilmember Deanda, anything
Nothing to
report?
report at this time.
Okay. Morales, Vice Mayor.
Yeah, on 11/12, the Association of Monterey Bay Area Governments posted the 2050 Metropolitan Transportation Plan and Sustainable Communities Strategy. The Metro Transportation Plan and Sustainable Communities Strategy. If you want to read it, it is, lengthy. It's about 165 pages. But it outlines transportation available in Santa Cruz, Monterey, and San Benito counties, and all the ways that you can get around through public transit. Every 4 years, they put out this study, and San Benito County accounts for about 35 to 40 pages. And it is still in draft form, but it is being finalized. And if people want to put public input on the draft, you want to read it, it's all on AMBAG's website. So take a look at AMBAG website, and public input is still open. Via Zoom on January 21st of next year at 6 p.m., they're going to have that final opportunity to give input. So That's all I have to report as far as AMBAG.
Okay, thank you for that.
Mhm.
Um, I just will report that we had LAFCO last week. Um, the main thing that we did that meeting, we had some housekeeping things, but we voted in the public representative. So Lynn Mello, who was the alternate, is now the public representative on LAFCO, and then the alternate, who's Joe Howard. So he was appointed that date, and we had some other candidates. So I want to thank all those who applied. But those seats were filled, so now LAFCO is now full again. So that's really good, especially because the public representative is so important. Also, I went to the LABCO conference in San Diego 3 weeks ago, I believe it was, when I was there. Very educational. It was a great way for other LABCOs to get together to just network and find out how things were going. I will just say that it was the thing that stood out the most to me is that so many of the things that we're grappling with here locally, other jurisdictions are grappling with the same issues, including issues around growth, around housing, around infrastructure, around sphere of influences, all the things that we often feel like Hollister and San Benito County and San Bautista, we're the only ones that are grappling with those issues. And in fact, no, almost every jurisdiction are, as well as like environmental issues. So it was very interesting, and it was a great learning experience. I look forward to hopefully being able to participate next year at that one as well. And that's all I have to report on the committees that I am assigned to. Okay, I think that's it for the council. City manager, do you have anything to report?
Just very briefly, as you guys can, in the last few days, the water, the wind, the blowing trees are here. I want to thank Public Works staff and Parks and Recreation staff because the response to those things has begun early this season. And so we will continue to do that. Secondarily, Omar stole my thunder, or the reminder thunder. All of you have contacted me regarding the parade. Anytime a community can come together during the holidays with thousands of people is a very good thing. So I want to, I don't have to tell you, just let's all get out the word to the community to come on out the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And then lastly, she doesn't want me to say this because I didn't tell her I was going to say this, but I wanted to welcome our new city attorney, Jennifer Thompson, to my left. She's been with us for a long time, but she's in the chair. So welcome.
Yes. Welcome, welcome, Jennifer. We look forward to having you at our city council meetings in the future. Thank you. Thanks for that. Okay, anything else?
I just have one,
Okay, go ahead.
couple last things. On November 7th through 9th, there was the third annual Hollister Powwow and Native Gathering. It was a 3-day event, obviously celebrated the sharing of culture, tradition, and heritage of our Native ancestors out at Blotto Park. Friday was a ceremonial evening and bear dance. Saturday was a powwow and indigenous fashion show, which was very cool. Our native and population it feels like they have one, foot in the past, an eye on the present, and a mindfulness on the present, and a foot in the future, because the tradition and culture was there, yet you could see with that fashion show they were just taking it into the future. And on Sunday there was a powwow. I wasn't able to make it on Sunday, but Saturday was a sight to behold. I was privileged to be there. Felt really good to share that culture and tradition. Just want to say thank you to the Indigenous Nations Diversity Network for helping put that on. Youth Alliance came out and was part of the effort. Hollister Native American Gathering was in attendance. Gavilan College, the city of Hollister helped out. The county of San Benito let us use Bellato Park, and our Hollister Zone Parks and Rec Charles Wall put a lot of good effort in. It was a beautifully attended event, well organized. So great showing there. So thanks for that. Very cool. So it was the third annual. Look to see that again next year. And on the next couple of days later, November 11th, we did that veterans event. And Baldo Salcido, Anthony Sotelo, and Cesar Flores gave some great remarks, and they're doing great things for the community. And Mike Sanchez emceed the event, and every time Mike Sanchez emcees an event, I always feel like I'm in the right place. Like there's no fear of missing out. Like I'm where I need to be right now. So that was great. And that's all I have to report.
Thanks for that. Yeah,
Yep.
go
Mayor,
ahead.
thank you.
Councilmember DeBenedetti.
Yeah, I just want to go off what Vice Mayor Pache was saying. So I had an opportunity to attend the ceremony for the gathering out at Bellato Park, and I just have to say it was so beautiful and so moving, and to be a part of that. It was very harmonious. It was sacred. And just to see everybody come together. It was cold, and I didn't dress accordingly, but now I know for next year. And it was just incredible to be a part of it. And at one point I looked up and I said, this is home. This is our home. This is everybody's home. And to honor the native lands and to be there with native, the native people who are ancestors to this, right? The blood literally runs through this area. It was just so beautiful to be a part of. So yes, Charles, thank you for being a part of that. It was absolutely incredible. I will definitely go all 3 days next year. I'm excited. So yeah.
Yes, yeah, yeah. It was a great event. Great event. Okay, I think that's it. So we're gonna adjourn. And so we're gonna adjourn now at 7:11.